Reverend Bhante, Rahula, Chandima, and Amarbuddhi, and my all brothers and sisters of AIC US. We are very grateful to the countries like Sri Lanka, Thailand, Japan, Myanmar, Indonesia, and other Asian countries for keeping the lamp of Dhamma burning. But unfortunately in India, because of revolution and counter-revolution, Buddhism, there was decline and fall in Buddhism. So, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar in the 19th century had to revive Buddhism again based on social and religious revolution. That began on 14th October 1956. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar embraced Buddhism along with 5 lakhs followers at Diksha-bhumi, Nagpur. At the time of Dhamma Diksha-bhumi, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar gave us not only Visharan and Panchashil, but also at the time he also gave us 22 oaths. So I will explain in short the 22 oaths. So first 8 oaths teaches us to not to remove the sanskar from our mind, the sanskar which have been imbibed in our mind since thousands of years. Because unless we remove those sanskar, we will not be able to learn Buddhism sincerely. It is like if you want to write something on a slate, then we clean it first and then we start writing. So we have to remove the sanskar. But which sanskar? The sanskar not to believe in God, not to believe in superstition, not to believe in supernaturalism, and not to believe in atma or soul. Then in the remaining oaths, Babasaheb tells us after removing this sanskar, then we have to follow Dhamma. So what is Dhamma? That is the path of righteousness or eightfold path or Majjhima Patipada. Then path of purity, path of personal purity, that is Panchashil, and path of virtue, that is 10 paramitas along with prajna. Each paramita is should be associated with prajna. So it is a prajna, shil, samadhi. Prajna is thinking right, and shil is acting right, and samadhi is cultivation of training of the mind. This is prajna, shil, samadhi. And we have to lead our life in accordance with the prajna, shil, karuna and maitri. This is 18th place in this. So prajna means wisdom, right understanding and intelligence, and shil means righteous life, and karuna means loving kindness to human beings, and maitri means loving kindness to all living beings.
You can hold my list. Yeah.
Okay.
You can also get.
Oh. I was not audible.
No, just now. I think
Oh.
just now is front. Yeah.
Then should I repeat?
No.
So this was in short about 22 oaths. That is, we have to remove the sanskar. That is, these are called adhamma, and then only we have to follow the dhamma, sadhamma. And then to gain the knowledge of Buddhism, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar wrote a beautiful granth called Buddha and His Dhamma. This book covers all the aspects of man's life, this book covers all the aspects of man's life, that is social, economical, educational, religious, cultural, political, and then it also teaches Vinaya for husband and wife, means how husband should behave with wife and vice versa. Then Vinaya for son and parents, Vinaya for daughter and parents, and Vinaya for householders. So if we read this book several times and contemplate on it, then we can understand all the basic concepts of Buddhism. And it will also help in understanding, clearing the doubts about atma or soul, whether there is Kamma is considered in Buddhism or not, whether there is a rebirth or not in Buddhism. If you read the Nam Rupa theory, from this book, all these doubts will be clear, because here mind has taken place in the role of atma. In Buddhism there is no atma, so this Nam Rupa theory is very important. Nam is mind and consciousness, and Rupa means matter, and body or kaya, and this kaya body is made of Prithvi, Vayu, and this Nam comes, consciousness comes when there is conception, at the time of conception only, but later on at the time of birth, when the 5-6 senses come into action, that is eyes, nose, tongue, skin and ear, then they come in touch with the surrounding, and mind with the thoughts. And then there is Vedna, Sanya, Sanskar and Vijnana again. Vedna means sensation, Sanya means perception, identification, labeling, and Sanskar means collected memories, and Vijnana means consciousness, means time to time our mind changes. If we see, we come into any sight, if we see a person, then sensation occurs in the body, and then our mind identifies he is a person. Then depending on the states of our mind, means whatever memories we have about that mind, means whether we think he is a good man or madman, then according to that memories, collected memory, we react. There is feeling, either pleasurable or unpleasurable feeling. That is consciousness. This is final consciousness, mental reaction. So Vedna, Sanya, Sanskar, Vijnana, this changes from time to time, a fraction of second. So body and mind changes time to time in a fraction of second. It is called impermanence. So this concept of impermanence is very nicely given in that book. And also this Kamma, means you must have come to know that there is no atma, because everything is every action, every thought, everything is taken over by the mind. And then Kamma and his rebirth in Buddhism is what in Dhamma, envisioned by Dr. Babasaheb. He says that in this book, that is Kamma or karma or actions which are done here in this present life only. We don't believe on past karma or future life, past life or future life. Whatever we do, those are the action. We get the effect of those actions. So if we do good deeds, then we get the good effect of that action. If we do bad deeds, then bad effect of action. So karma or action is taken into present life only. There is no other life considered here. And also in rebirth is considered in Buddhism, but it is a rebirth of element only. Because already I said that Kaya is made of Prithvi, Apte, Vayu, and after death the physical part dies, and then elements and consciousness is released in space, and then they join in the mass of same elements like playing in the universe. This universe is not empty, it is filled with elements, elements, atoms or atomic particles, and then they are in floating state. So in Buddhism, we don't consider Akash, only Earth, Prithvi, Apte, Vayu, it is only 4 elements we consider. So these 4 elements after they join the mass of same elements in the space. And then when there is new birth, then they join, all the elements join together to form consciousness. And how this consciousness appear in the concepts, this Babasaheb says that where there is kaya or matter, there is consciousness following it. It is like electric field followed immediately by magnetic field. Nobody knows that from where this magnetic field comes. So this is the concept of means when the elements are released in the space, there is addition of matter in the space, regeneration of matter, and then when the 4 elements join together, so and they form the new birth. So that means there is a rebirth of the elements and not of the consciousness. Whatever thing I don't know is considered that only in Buddhism is envisioned by Dr. Babasaheb. He said that the rebirth of whom and the rebirth of what. So the rebirth of an element, and these elements can be of any dead person and not of the same person. Okay. Then I have given only 10 minutes, so I will speak on the principles of Buddhism in terms of Dhamma. So Dr. Babasaheb was greatly influenced by the principles of Buddhism, liberty, equality and fraternity. And then he incorporated these principles in Constitution of India also. And Dr. Babasaheb, because Dr. Babasaheb wanted an ideal society based on liberty, equality and fraternity. And thus Buddha and Dr. Babasaheb were the great social reformers. So we will see what is this liberty in terms of Dhamma, Buddhism. So liberty or freedom, it is not merely a physical freedom, it is a freedom of mind. The mind which is free, the mind which is not controlled by any authority, the mind which is not controlled by any rules or regulation. The mind, the free mind only can decide what is wrong and what is right, what is beneficial for him, for the person, or what is not beneficial. Then this free mind only requires, is required to cultivate samadhi. This free mind can only decide and doesn't follow whatever has been taught by the by your ancestor related to the custom and tradition. You can differentiate. You know whether they are good or you have to carry forward or not. So your mind should be free, and the free mind doesn't believe on anything unless it is examined under the light of cause and effect theory. Cause and effect theory is propagating of path. Means whatever is arising there is some cause behind it. So, and then this is the arising and passing away of the things. So this is cause and effect theory. That I will not go on tell in detail. Then we'll see what is equality in Dhamma. Then men are born unequal. Some are robust, some are weak. Some have intelligence, and some don't have intelligence or there is less. Some are well-to-do, and some are poor. But all have to enter into the struggle of existence. But if there is inequality and the rule, then weakest will always suffer, and fittest will be the best from the point of view of society. Means if everything is available to the person, then he will be considered as best if there is inequality. But here comes the role of equality. Society is equality helps the base to survive, even though the base may not be fittest. Society wants best and not the fittest. And Buddha's Dhamma preaches equality. It teaches that we should not gain happiness by giving trouble, or we should not hurt to the other person. And happiness is considered for oneself and the other person. This is equality. Means not to give hurt or injure the other person, and the sort of your happiness, your oneself should not be happy for that only. And that we'll see what is, and this equality cannot be established until and unless there is torture and harassment from the other part. And Buddhism, we don't tolerate any oppression, inequality. So equality, there should be equality everywhere. Then fraternity. To establish fraternity, society should be mobile, full of channels for conveying a change taking place from one part to other part. Similarly, there should be many interests consciously shared. In other words, there must be social endosmosis. Mere similarity in habits, customs and observing festivals of different groups or living in physical proximity is not enough. There should be communication in various groups and organization. And fraternity, it can only be established by associated living and attitude of respect and reverence towards fellow men. This is the meaning of fraternity. So these principles of liberty, equality and fraternity are very beautiful, and thus we must practice Dhamma and propagate the Dhamma if we want to keep the Dhamma alive, then it is our duty. In Babasaheb words, Babasaheb says that men are mortal, like that the ideas are also mortal. So we have to propagate the idea as plants need watering, otherwise both will wither and die. Now, so Babasaheb has erected a strong pillar of Buddhism, so no one should eradicate it. And we must rise like a phoenix bird who obtains new life by rising from ashes, and we can also rise from devastation and loss. Thank you very much. This is very short, but I have been given 10 minutes, so I completed.
Thank you, Alka.